Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at some more awful exes.
What are some things that an ex did to you that you still can't believe to this day that you allowed them to do?
So my ex was really particular about how I had my hair. I always had to have it long, straight, black, or a very dark brown. But I always wanted to have red hair. But not like red hair, just like a really nice auburn.
Well then you go and get that red hair, honey. That kind of reminds me of like a Netflix thing I watched. There was like a thing called Keep Sweet Piranha Bay or something like that. But basically with like cults like that, like all the girls' hair is exactly the same. I don't understand why boys are so like particular. Like, don't get me wrong, if your girl goes out and looks ridiculous, I can understand why I don't want her to have her hair like that. But it's like you can't really control her, can you?
So one day I did just that. I went to my stylist and I had her end up chopping off like maybe 4 or 5 inches of my hair. I think it laid about right here whenever it was straight, so it was still pretty long. Here's actually a picture of it. Do you see how red that is? Hardly.
Yeah, so like it's a tiny bit red. It's not really that red. It's kind of like got a bit of a red tinge. I always think about dyeing my hair. What color would I suit my hair? I mean, my hair looks a mess, but I always wanted blonde hair, but I just wouldn't suit being a blondie.
He was okay with my hair being like this, but not this. Anyways, I come home and he is so mad, guys, that he actually leaves.
Okay, so he left the house because you have red hair. Yet again, whenever men can't control their other half, they absolutely lose it. Like, I could understand if he maybe done that. I don't know, like his ex-girlfriend, like, held him at knife point, or really bad things happen to him with people with, like, that color of hair. That's kind of, like, understandable. But, like, your hair isn't even that bad, and, like, the stuff I just said probably didn't even happen to him.
Where he went, I do not know. He told me that he was not going to be with somebody who had the same color hair as his ex-wife and one of his girlfriends before me. So after hours and hours of manipulation and mental terrorization, I called my stylist and I booked an appointment for the very next day to dye my hair black, just so that he would forgive me.
But, like, why did he not want you to have that hair color? Because of his ex-wife and his ex-girlfriend? I mean, nah, people dye their hair all the time. If you go out and see someone with that color of hair, you can go out and punch them. You're gonna avoid them. Like, you can't do that. That ain't how the world works. To me, that just sounds like a fragile boy.
Okay, I hope he sees this because he has commented on my TikToks before, so this is for you. So back when I was a freshman in high school, when I dated men, we were 14 when we started dating, and at this point we were dating for 3 months, so I was 15 already, and we were just talking about how he had anger issues.
Oh god, yeah, that is quite scary. Have you ever went to someone's house and they've got like holes in their door? I remember I went to a few friends' houses and they had holes in their doors, and it's quite scary because obviously they've been like punching their door. I mean, imagine if you find out your boyfriend punches walls and doors. Like, imagine if he turned around and punches you one day.
He told me he would end up throwing things and bashing things, that he had a really hard time controlling it. Which, whatever. As long as they don't put it against you, you can work on that shit.
Exactly, like as long as he doesn't turn it on the human, then I guess that's fine. But it's the fact that that is his way of getting rid of his anger, and what happens if one day he takes that anger onto someone? You know, he might do it, it's the unknown.
However, he told me that he had no control over his anger, so that if we were to get into an argument, he can't promise that he wouldn't hit me.
Oh, so it turns out there is a possibility she might get hit. Yeah, you need to get away from a man like that. It's the fact that he's saying like he can't control it and he can't promise he wouldn't hit you. That is not good.
And my dumbass was like, okay. This was my first boyfriend, by the way. And I stayed with him for another year after he said that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Exactly, like don't do that. And keep in mind, you were 14, you were so young. All these 14-year-olds getting into relationships, and it's like, I'm sat here 19, I still have never had a boyfriend.
He never acted out his anger on me because we got into arguments over FaceTime, but like, I wouldn't put it past him.
It's good that like she never did get punched, but like it's scary to think that like he couldn't control his anger. Yet again, this is why I'm never gonna get in a relationship, because boys genuinely terrify me.
Where do I start? He would get mad at me if I posted a picture in a bikini because he said I was like trying to get attention from other guys.
That's such like an Andrew Tate thing, isn't it? And I actually feel really bad for a lot of girls who are dating boys who follow Andrew Tate. Like that whole mindset that they have is like so scary. Oh, you're my girl, you're my property, I own you. Nah, get away, mate, that's weird.
He accused me of cheating on him with one of my guy friends, and though I've never cheated on anybody in my entire life, and the relationship ultimately ended because he cheated on me.
Exactly, I was gonna say that a lot of times if someone accuses you of cheating multiple times and they're very sure that you've done it even though you haven't, it's probably because they've done it and they're like getting a bit freaked out. It's kind of like whenever boys are like homophobic to gay boys. A lot of times the most homophobic ones are secretly closeted and they make themselves out as a really homophobic person to try to like shine light away from them possibly being gay.
I was moving him out of his apartment and I found a girl's shirt behind his couch. One time he swore up and down that I got like super drunk and like peed in his bed, and then like I was like, I don't do that, I don't like drink like drink that much. And then he figured out it was like some other girl, and I was like, why is she drunk in your bed? And now him and that girl are dating.
Oh god, this poor girl has been put through so much. Yet again, women, why'd you let men treat you like that? We should bring in a new law. People who act like that need to get arrested.
Okay, so when I was with my ex-wife, I was going through radiation treatments and I had second-degree radiation burns across my abdomen. I was very sick. I asked her to take me to the emergency room because I was feeling really awful and a lot of pain. And instead of taking me to the emergency room, she instead turned off her phone and spent the night with another woman.
Oh god, that ain't good. So she literally needs to be taken to hospital and her wife has turned her phone off and cheated on her. I'm telling you, it's not just boys who are evil, it's women as well. Why would you do that? That's pure evil.
And I still talked to her for several months after that. I did file for divorce a few weeks later though.
I mean, it's good that you got rid of her in the end, but like, why would you do that? That is just scumbag behavior. You know, her wife is literally sick and she still does that. Honestly, honey, you need to go and find yourself a better wife.
I wouldn't let this guy that I was living with tell his best female friend that he wanted to her as a birthday present. I let him say that.
Yet again, I feel like everyone can relate to that. Like, sometimes we'll let people say stuff which we know they shouldn't say, but they still say it. It's kind of like whenever I was younger, boys would say weird stuff to me in school, and then like 5 years later, I'm like, oh my god, they meant X, Y, and Z. Yeah, I used to have to put up with a lot of weird stuff as well.
I let him say that while he was stood next to me, and then continued to stay with him for another, I don't know, like year. He did this with several other females and ended up cheating on me and leaving me for another woman with the same name as me.
Oh my god, same name as well. That's even worse. Yet again, it's like a pattern. Like, they do it with one woman to see how you're acting, and they'll do it and do it and do it. They know they can get away with it, and do you want to know something? Thank god you left them in the end. I don't even know how I'd react if that happened to me. I feel like I'd just like stand there in shock.
So when I was dating my now ex a few years ago, he didn't really like the fact that I had folliculitis in my hoo-ha region.
I don't know what that is, so if you do know what that is, maybe she'll tell us, comment down below.
She claimed that if she was to ever go down on me, she'd get pus in her mouth. I don't see how that works. So one day, I came home and she said that she wanted to have a chat. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And then she greets me with a handwritten contract to say that if I didn't go to the doctors every time she asked me to about my folliculitis, she'd dump me.
Okay, I'm assuming folliculitis, is that what she said? It's probably some type of issue. She might have it genetically, it might just be an issue that comes and goes. I don't really know what it is, but I'm assuming it is like an issue downstairs. So this girlfriend's trying to say that if she doesn't go to the doctor whenever she says she wants her to, she's gonna dump her. I mean, it's hard enough to get a doctor's appointment full stop in the UK. And then America, I swear, it costs a lot of money.
So, stupid me at the time, I signed it. The fuck?
Well, I mean, keep in mind she was an ex, so you eventually left her, and I feel like that's the best for you.
So let's just talk about the multiple times that I allowed him to leave his wife, because we were married, full-fledged, legally, had the paperwork in my hand, married. But I allowed him to leave not once, not twice, not three, not four. Okay, maybe four, because the fifth time it was a choice.
Okay, by leave, does she mean like leave the house or cheat? Or like end the marriage? We need context.
But I allowed him to leave multiple times, going back to his baby mama, and I accepted the excuse, but I don't want to hurt both of y'all, or I'm just going back to see about my kids, or you know, whatever. I gotta make sure she's okay, whoop-de-woo. And so I look back on that now and I'm like, girl, you were stupid. And it wasn't that I was stupid, but I just had so much hope for him.
Yeah, that is quite sad, isn't it? Because like, she'll obviously hope that he'll change, which is never gonna happen. It's kind of like Khloe Kardashian. Tristan always cheats on her, and like, she's always saying, oh, I hope he'll change, but he's not really ever, is he? Yet again, once a cheat, always a cheat, and I would be so heartbroken. And I kind of feel bad for her, because I feel like it's happened so much, she kind of gets numb to it. Yet again, these men are awful. Anyways, that is some awful exes. If you are new, hit the big red subscribe button, and just, I'll see you all in my next video.